Our skin can pay a hefty price for summer fun in the sun. Just one blistering sunburn in your younger years can increase the risk for deadly melanoma.
The UV exposure and ultraviolet exposure from the sun's rays is really the #1 most preventable and avoidable cause of not only skin cancer, but also signs of aging. So things like fine lines, wrinkles, brown spots, loss of elasticity.
Dermatologist Whitney Bowe says all of us should use sunscreen, but points out the FDA is now questioning chemical sunscreens with ingredients like oxybenzone and avobenzone.
They're actually calling for sunscreen manufacturers to really take a closer look at the safety of some of those ingredients.
Recent studies show some sunscreen chemicals can be absorbed into the bloodstream. That's why the FDA states these products need to undergo further testing to help determine if they increase the risk for cancer, birth defects, or other adverse effects. And while those chemical sunscreens warrant further study, the FDA says mineral sunscreens are generally recognized as safe and effective. However, there are drawbacks to those as well.
So mineral or physical blockers basically act like a shield. They sit on the skin and they reflect or scatter UV rays. Those are the ones that they contain zinc oxide, titanium dioxide. They can be a little bit difficult to rub in. They can sometimes leave you looking a little bit like a ghost, right?
Too often, sunscreens don't offer the protection they claim, and consumers don't apply them properly.
So a lot of people are asking me, like, how do I limit the amount of sunscreen that I'm using during the summer? And that's when I tell people you got to think outside the sunscreen box.
People who are concerned about slathering sunscreen from head to toe all day long, which is what doctors recommend, can find peace of mind by covering up with things like a wide-brimmed hat and new protective clothing like this swim shirt that blocks 98% of the sun's harmful rays. If you do happen to get too much sun that leads to a burn, Dr. Bowe says new CBD products can bring relief.
So cannabis, the cannabis plant, has two main compounds that people are familiar with. There's THC, which gets you high, and CBD, which doesn't. But CBD can actually help to dial down inflammation. It speeds up wound healing, and it also has analgesic properties, so it helps with pain.
As for that aging look that comes with too much sun, Dr. Bowe explains how to potentially replace collagen in our skin that the sun breaks down.
They're basically ropes of protein that keep the skin firm and tight and smooth. And there's this very hot new trend of adding a scoop or two of collagen powder into your coffee, into your smoothie, into your oatmeal, showing that if you ingest collagen every single day, it can boost elasticity, hydration in the skin, and even fight wrinkles.
Finally, if you choose a sports drink this summer, make sure it's organic and no more than 2 grams of sugar.
But most sports drinks are loaded with sugar, and sugar causes something called glycation. The sugar molecules bind to the collagen and targets it for destruction. So it's a great way to accelerate the aging process.
Dr. Bowe recommends keeping our sugar consumption under 30 grams a day. Lorie Johnson, CBN News.